Every Claude Code course in 2026 spends 3 hours on install screens, VS Code themes, and why AI matters. 0 minutes on the one file that decides if Claude ships production code or invents a database schema that doesn't exist. If you've watched a course, opened Claude Code, and by day 3 it was hallucinating imports and rewriting files you told it not to touch, this is exactly your problem. I'll show you the 80-line CLAUDE.md file running 3 live products on my box right now, the 6 lines inside it that matter most, and the failure mode you'll hit without them. I'm Lazar. I build these systems for clients every week. Let's open the file. So here's the situation. You bought into the promise. You installed Claude Code, watched a 4-hour walkthrough, maybe 2. And for the first day, it felt like magic. Then day 3 hit. Claude started importing libraries that aren't in your package.json. It rewrote your auth handler when you asked for a typo fix. It generated a Prisma schema for tables that don't exist in your database. And now you're sitting there wondering if this whole thing is a demo trick. It isn't. What you're missing is one file. Every serious Claude Code setup lives or dies on a single markdown file at the root of your project called CLAUDE.md. That file is the instruction manual Claude reads before every single response. No file, no context. No context, hallucination. It really is that simple. And no course I've seen actually walks you through what belongs inside it. So let me show you mine. I'm going to open the exact CLAUDE.md I use across 3 production projects. One is an invoicing platform for small businesses. One is an internal operations bot that handles email triage and Telegram notifications. One is a lead generation tool. 3 completely different stacks. 3 completely different clients. 1 file structure. 80 lines total. It took me about 4 rewrites over 6 months to land on this shape. And it hasn't changed in the last 90 days. The file has 5 sections and that's it. Section 1 is project context. 3 or 4 lines. What the project does, who uses it, what stage it's in. Not a pitch, not marketing copy, just facts. Something like, this is a Node backend serving an invoicing. A PI for Serbian small businesses. Production, live customers, revenue generating. That's it. Claude now knows the stakes. It will treat migrations differently than it would treat a weekend prototype. Section 2 is the stack. Exact versions. Node 20, Postgres 15, Prisma 5.7, Faster 5.4, TypeScript strict mode on. Not general, specific. Because the moment you write Node without a version, Claude assumes latest, and latest has features your code doesn't use. Same for Prisma. Different versions have different migration syntax. Pin it or bleed. Section 3 is where most people give up, and it's the most important. Forbidden patterns. This is a bulleted list of things Claude is not allowed to do without explicit permission. Never run Prisma, migrate, deploy. Never modify files inside /migrations. Never install a new dependency without asking. Never change environment variable names. Never touch the billing module without a human review comment. On my file that's about 12 lines. Every line came from a real incident where Claude broke something and I had to roll back. Section 4 is test commands. The exact shell commands to run tests, lint, type check, and build. Not vague, exact. npm run test :unit. npm run lint :fix. Because when Claude finishes a task and you tell it to verify, you want it running your commands, not making up scripts that don't exist in your package.json. Section 5 is commit style. Conventional commits, prefix rules, and a note that says every commit message must reference the ticket ID or say no ticket. Small thing. Saves me 2 hours a week reviewing Git history. That's the whole file. 80 lines. Now let me show you what happens without it. I'll clone one of my repos fresh, delete the CLAUDE.md, and ask Claude Code to add a new invoice field. Watch what happens. It reads the schema, decides it wants to add a column, and immediately proposes a raw SQL migration in a folder that doesn't exist in this project because we use Prisma migrations, not raw SQL. It also imports a validation library we don't use. 2 hallucinations in 30 seconds. Now I put the CLAUDE.md back. Same clone, same prompt. Add a new invoice field. This time Claude reads the file, sees that raw SQL migrations are forbidden, sees the Prisma version, opens the correct schema file, proposes a schema change, and asks me before generating the migration. Same model, same prompt. Completely different behavior. The file is the difference. So if you're going to copy one thing from this video, copy these 6 lines. First line, 1 sentence describing the project and whether it's in production. Second line, the exact stack with versions. Third block, a forbidden list with at least 3 items covering migrations, dependencies, and any module handling money or auth. Fourth line, the exact test command. Fifth line, the exact commit prefix rule. Sixth line, an ask before rule that says, if any change touches more than 3 files or any file in a forbidden path, stop and ask. Drop those 6 lines into a CLAUDE.md at the root of your repo, commit it, and restart Claude Code. You will feel the difference on the next prompt. It will slow down for 2 seconds while it reads, and then it will behave like a senior engineer instead of a caffeinated intern. That 2-second pause is the entire course. One more thing. This file is a living document. Every time Claude does something you didn't want, don't get angry. Open the CLAUDE.md and add a line. Within about 2 weeks of daily use, the file stabilizes and you stop editing it. Mine hasn't changed in 90 days across 3 projects. That's the finish line. If you want the exact 80-line template, I've put it on bizflowai.io with the 6-line minimum version and the full production versions side by side. Go grab it, drop it in your repo, and you're done. While you're there, take a look at what we actually build for clients on bizflowai.io. Full automation stacks that run on top of files like this one. Hit subscribe and ring the bell so the next Claude Code breakdown finds you. And if you've got a workflow you want automated end-to-end, book a free 30-minute discovery call at bizflowai.io. We'll tell you honestly if it's worth building.